Really, welcome to this evening's class. It's not really an official webinar as such. It was more an opportunity to say hello. This is my first live stream to the wonderful, beautiful people of Denmark. And some of you I was lucky enough to meet at the amazing Unfold Your Love conference in September. And some of you might have seen that we are coming back to Denmark. I'm bringing my team with me to come and spend 2 days with you over there in a couple of weeks. So I know some of you might not have heard of EAM or met me before, and I thought it would be really nice to just meet some of you and introduce you this evening to a tiny little bit about EAM, the Energy Alignment Method, and how it can really help you to let go of stuck energy, to shift whatever it is that we've got going on inside, to release whatever we've got going on up here or in our heart. And I'm going to introduce you to a few of the kind of key philosophies, but most importantly, I'm going to introduce you to the 5 steps of EAM themselves. And we're going to do a live demonstration because it's one of those things that works best when you've actually felt it, when you've experienced it for yourself. So I am really looking forward to sharing everything with you on the call tonight. So thank you all for being here. I can see more people are joining in now, which is wonderful. So I think we should probably begin our class, I think. So this time of year, some of you, I know some of you have just joined our community today, but some of you I know have also probably might have seen what we've been up to over the last few weeks. So we did a big kind of whole new year, new you thing, because this time of year, particularly in January, is the time of year when we're all thinking about how we're going to create something amazing in 2019. We might be reflecting on how 2018 went for all of us or for ourselves, and taking what we learned from that point into 2019 so that we can really figure out how to start changing our lives. Now, for me, and this is probably the single biggest part of my message and the work that we do with EAM, the Energy Alignment Method, is I personally found that a lot of the things I tried to do before I discovered EAM, or before I really discovered the foundation of life, was I was trying all of these different things, all of these different methods to help me change my life. I was, whether it was coaching or NLP or EFT, the tapping, whether it was Reiki or massage or reflexology or any number of different self-help methodologies that I was on my own journey really to try and discover. It wasn't until I really lived and understood that everything around us is energy, that we are energy, that our life is energy. And whilst it might all appear to be very real, it is all just an energetic experience. And every single self-help thing out there is really, at its core, trying to find a way to shift and change energy. And that's one of the things that EAM does exceptionally well. And that's what I want to share with you really on this call tonight. So who's it for? That's probably everybody. But really, the reason that I share EAM so widely and I get so passionate about it is because it genuinely is for everyone. Every single self-help thing we can think of, whether it's being challenged by our own thoughts and beliefs, whether it's being overwhelmed, whether it's feeling depressed, whether it's feeling upset, whether it's dealing with a relationship with our partner, whether it's money, whether it's work, whether it's our family, whatever it is that we're experiencing, that we feel is the challenge in our life right now, is always an energetic experience. And one of the things I'll introduce you to tonight is that in EAM we talk about there only ever being 3 flows of energy. And once you can master these 3 flows of energy, hopefully eliminate 2 of them and just allow yourself to get into the flow state, that's when life begins to feel really magic. So if that sounds interesting to you, to those of you who are watching this live, and I know some of you will be watching this on the replay as well, can you just give me a big yes in the box if that sounds like it would be useful to know? Does that seem like something you want to listen to this evening? I'm hoping there's going to be some yeses. Yes. Yeah. Vincent, you've heard this. You've heard some of this before. But I love that you're back. It's really nice that you're back. So we're going to do, this evening's going to be a little bit of me showing you some slides, but I will probably end up getting my flip chart out because I want to just introduce a few concepts to you this evening. And I will also introduce you to the 5 steps of EAM. So for those of you who don't know me, and of course you probably wouldn't because I've not, other than the Unfold Your Love conference in Denmark, I hadn't been there before, and I was so blown away by just what a beautiful, amazing, peaceful and very spacious country you have. Coming from the UK, I didn't realise just how big and beautiful Denmark was, and I am really excited to be coming back to see all of you as well. I've been sidetracked, but the reason that I, if you've not heard of me, that's where I was going, which you probably haven't. My name is Yvette, and I am the creator of EAM, the Energy Alignment Method. And now EAM itself is a transformational self-help technique, and we recently, let me just share this with you. We very recently, literally about 3 weeks ago, just gained international recognition for EAM as a complementary therapy in and of itself, which is really exciting. And the reason that's really exciting, and particularly because we're coming to Denmark as well, is that now means that we can start taking EAM internationally. So we're now able to come and work in Europe and Australia and over to the US as well, which is amazing because it's taken like 3.5 years for us to get to this point. But I'm also the author. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Vincent, that hadn't happened last time I saw you. So I'm really excited. But it's kind of the grounding of the last 20 years worth of me being an energy worker. Most of the journey I've been on has really been for myself, to start figuring out how to shift and how to change my life. And that's what led me on my journey to going on the search for all of these different ways to shift and change. And like I said earlier, it wasn't until I really understood that everything is energy. And once we actually start to work with the energy behind everything we experience, that's when I really started to create magic in my own life. And that's now what I share with everybody else. I'm also the author of this book, which I know some of you might have already. Those of you who came to the Unfold Your Love conference, lots of you bought a copy of this, so I'm hoping it's arrived at your home in Denmark now. But this also only just came out at the very beginning of December. So within the 2 days, we got the recognition and the book came out. So it's the ultimate self-help book, and it is a textbook in and of itself. So a tiny little bit about my journey. I'm not going to tell you loads about my story tonight, but my own journey to trying to figure out how to change my life really began for me in my childhood. Like many of us, a lot of things that had happened in my past were probably things that I would not necessarily have chosen if I'd been conscious to it. But a lot of the things that happened in my childhood were things that pushed me to the limit of what most people would experience in their life. And at a young age, I probably experienced things that you would never really wish on anybody. Now, what that meant is I spent many years during my teenage years being a little bit of a pain, perhaps, to my mum, It sent me into a big spiral of drinking, of taking drugs, of self-harm, of depression, of becoming a victim in my own life, and not really knowing how I could shift or change that, not really knowing how to let any of this go. And it wasn't until I was 17 that I discovered there was an alternative, that complementary therapies even really existed. And since then, for the last 17, nearly 18 years, that's when my real journey of transformation began. And like I said, to begin with, it was all about me trying to let go of the pain from my past, from my childhood initially. Never in a million years did I think that my journey of a heartbroken, pain-filled 16 or 17-year-old would 20 years later take me to now sharing a self-help methodology with literally thousands and thousands and thousands of people around the world. And it's still a little bit strange, to be honest, but I absolutely know the power of this work, and that is what keeps me going on the mission, because I have seen how many thousands of lives have been changed by this now. And that's why I'm super excited to be bringing this to Denmark, because it will actually be my first international workshop with EAM. So I'm quite excited to be coming and sharing that with you. So this evening, let me introduce you to, I won't tell you much more about my story. If you want to know more, you can read it in the book. So let me introduce you to some of the concepts behind EAM, because I think that will just help us to get on the same page. So you can see for yourself. She says, hold on, just moving over to my slides for you. Here we go. Here we go. So, sorry. You should all now be able to see my slides, I'm hoping. So the first thing that I wanted to introduce you to, and this is one of the key pieces of philosophy really behind EAM, is that everything in our life and everything in our world is based on energy. Everything in your life experience is in one of these three energy states. And we talk about these three energy states all of the time. Energy can only be in reversal, in resistance, or in the receptive or inflow energy state. So within EAM, we talk about these a lot. We've all experienced these energy states, and we all experience them all of the time. So the reversed energy state is, you've probably experienced it as those times when you're looking at the things that are going on in your life. It feels as though you're repeating patterns. You might look back at your life over the last 5 or 10 years or the last 3 years, and the situation around you might have changed, but as in you've got different people, but you might be repeating some of the same patterns, or things don't really feel like they've shifted or changed for you. Or sometimes it's even when you do more work towards trying to shift and change something, it almost seems to get worse. So when I think about the reversed energy state, if you imagine everything that you want to experience in your life is like over there in that direction, every time that you put more energy into a situation that has the reversed energy state, it's almost like it pulls you as hard and as far away as possible from all of the things that you say that you want to manifest. Now, the resistant energy state is one where there's kind of a little bit of movement. There's part of you that wants to move in that direction towards all the things you want, the life you want to create, the positive, happy emotions, and all of the things that we want to manifest in our life experience. Then there's usually some other little part inside of us that I always describe as this little gremlin, or this little boy or little girl who's sort of holding on to you. That every time you take a step forward to do something, there's something inside of you that feels like it's holding you back. So the resistant energy state is almost like you're being pulled in two directions. There's a little bit of movement towards what you want, but there's always this holding back, this energy that's holding you back and not really letting you move forward. So the resistant energy state is usually created by some kind of thought or belief or self-sabotaging pattern, something that is held in our energy system, which I'm going to talk to you a little bit more about in a moment. So when we've got these resistant thoughts, beliefs, patterns or emotions that creep up on us, they're the ones that say, you know, you're not good enough, you're too busy, or you haven't got time, you don't have money, you can't do that because, like all of that internal chatter that we tend to have, and we all have it. So the resistant energy state is like this push and pull experience. Then we have the receptive state. The receptive state, or the inflow state, is the one that we all want to create. It's the one that we all want to experience. It's the one that we all want to be bringing into our lives or creating in our lives. It's those times when you wake up in the morning and you know that everything is just working perfectly. You get up, your hair looks amazing, you know, your face looks great, you find some money on the floor, you end up on the way to work, someone gives you a chair on the train, your boss gives you a pay rise. It's all of those kind of, everything seems to synchronize and align like the universe is working with you rather than against you. Now, we've all had those times. So the inflow state is not just what you're manifesting or what you're creating in your life, but it's that state of energy that we all want to be in all of the time. Now, the reality is, very rarely is anybody in that energy state all of the time. But that is the energy state that we want to get to. And the purpose of what we do with EAM is all about releasing this reversal energy. It's all about releasing this resistant energy and redirecting that energy so that you can allow it to work with you and for you in your life experience, so that more of your energy is in flow. Now, the inflow state is much more really than just what you're manifesting in your life. And I'll talk to you a little bit more in a minute about the science of that. But when we think about energy, all energy gathers momentum. All energy gathers mass, and all energy gathers speed. So have you ever noticed when you've got that repetitive train of energy that's kind of floating around, you get up in the morning, you don't skip out of bed and have amazing hair, you might skip out of bed and stub your toe, and then you spill your coffee all over your dress, or then you spill all over your trousers or whatever. And then you get on the train and it's all jam-packed and you miss your stop, and then you're late for work, and then the meeting runs over, and then the boss tells you off, etc., etc. It's like this momentum of all of the bad things tend to happen. So all energy has momentum, and the choice that we have is whether we allow that to be an inflow momentum of energy that we choose to direct and allow it to work with us, or whether we allow that momentum of energy to be predicted for us by not being in control of our energy and letting one thing spiral into another, into another, into another, into something more, and into something bigger. So momentum can be powerful. Momentum can be exceptionally powerful when it's working for you. And the good news is you have the power over what that energy is doing, whether it's working the inflow direction or whether it's working in the reversed or resistant direction. So obviously, everything I want to show you is about choosing to move it to that inflow state. Now, again, I'm zipping through this, something that usually takes me, a good chunk of time to really talk about. And if you want to learn much more about it, it is in the book. There's loads more about this in the book. But within EAM, what we talk about is really the magnificent, amazing person that you are, the powerful, energetic creator that you are, that we all are. We are electromagnetic broadcasting systems. We are forever sending and receiving electromagnetic energy signals. And science has now been able to show all of this in so many numerous studies. So within EAM, what we talk about are three powerful energy centers. We talk about your head energy, your heart energy, and your hara energy. Now, your head energy is linked to what you would describe as, all of the functions of your brain. Now, the reason we call it your head is because it's not just located here, but it is a powerful electromagnetic signaling center. Our brain is an electromagnetic signal sender and broadcasting station, and it is also an amazing antenna for receiving electromagnetic information as well. Your heart is 5,000 times more powerful than your head or your brain, and it can be measured up to 20 feet away from your physical body. Your heart energy can be measured scientifically up to 20 feet away from your physical body. Now, that amazes me and also really excites me, because from a spiritual or energetic perspective, what they're actually measuring up to 20 feet away from you is what you may have heard referred to in the past as your aura. Now, your aura, which we'll talk about in a moment, is actually an amazing part of your energy system, and it is influencing your life experience all of the time. And what we do with EAM, with the energy alignment method, is all about reconfiguring and rebalancing all of our energy systems, our head, our heart, our hara, and all of the information that's held in our aura itself. I'll explain a bit more about that in a second. So your heart is also a powerful electromagnetic communicator. Now, if you think about this, it's not only us, or not only personal development and kind of spiritual self-help industries that are talking about this. When you go to hospital, if somebody's sick or ill, what are the two things that they will measure when you are in hospital? They are measuring our electromagnetic brain waves, and they are also measuring our electromagnetic heart waves. And if either of those are considered to not be working, then we're considered to not be doing very well. Now, I don't mean to make light of that, but what I mean is there is something so much more. If something so profound as our brain waves and heart waves can literally define whether we are alive or not here anymore, then do you think there might be something more to those two very powerful electromagnetic signals than just keeping our brain going and keeping our heart pumping blood around the body? Our head and our heart are so much more than just a brain computer and an electrical pump in our body. They are influencing everything in your life experience all day, every day. Now, the one electromagnetic energy center that the Western medicine culture probably don't yet measure, but they might do in the future, is another energy center that we know as your hara. And if you're not familiar with your hara, your energy center that is the hara is located about 2 inches below your belly button and about 2 inches inside. Now, your hara energy is all about your foundation. It's your core. It's actually the energy that you use in order to manifest things in our physical world, in our physical environment. From a spiritual or energetic perspective, it's connected to our base chakra and our sacral chakra. In Chinese medicine, it's really connected to the yin energy, the energy that you need in order to manifest anything in your life experience, anything you want to create. Now, very often, our hara energy is the reason that we're not able to manifest things, or what's happening with our hara energy is the reason that we're not able to manifest things. Now, the reason for that is because our hara is mainly formed, the energy that's in our hara or governed by that is mainly formed in those formative years of our life experience. So up to the age of about 14 to 16 years, and also up to sort of 21. But a majority of the information that's held in there, a majority of the free flow or the power of that energy is governed by the things that happened to us in our younger years before we were even able to know or understand or master our own life or our own environment. So very often, the place that most people are stuck in being able to move forward with their life or manifest the things they want to in their life experience is very often because of what's happening in their hara energy. Now, when you can, on the flip side of that, when you can get your hara energy working for you, it is incredibly, incredibly powerful. If you think about this whole region of our body, it's designed to create, it's designed to manifest, it's designed to give birth to incredible, amazing, multicellular, beautiful human beings. Now, if your hara energy can manifest a whole human being, do you think that by learning to tap into the energy that's there, we might be able to use some of that to actually create shifts and changes in different areas of our life too? The answer to that question is, of course, yes. So, like I said, there is a huge amount more that I could spend ages talking to you about each of those. But within EAM, when we talk about alignment, the word alignment that you may have heard used in many spiritual or personal development contexts, what we mean within EAM is that your head energy, your heart energy, and your hara energy are congruent. They are sending out the same or a similar, non-conflicting electromagnetic energy signal. Now, the reason that's important is because it means then that nothing in your energy is sending out a message into the world or into the environment that's going to contradict all of the things you want to create and all of the things that you want to manifest. So the work that we do with EAM is about aligning your head, your heart, and your hara. Now, when earlier I was talking a little bit about the flow state, the flow state, like I said, isn't just about manifesting. The flow state is actually a measurable physiological, psychological, and energetic state. So they're actually able to show when we are in this energetic state of flow, it creates changes in our brain waves, in our heart waves, it changes the hormone levels in our body, it resolves stress and overthinking, it enables our body to get into a physical healing state. It also changes the way that we view and perceive things in our lives, and it improves our mental and emotional stability. So we've all had that experience, you know, when you are feeling calm, feeling grounded, you're able to communicate more clearly, you have clarity of thought, things seem to flow more easily, you feel more awake and more alive. That's when you're in the flow state. Athletes, you know, top business people, peak performers, so many people tap into this flow state. They call it being in the zone or being in their zone of genius. There are lots of different words that we use in our everyday language to describe this energy state. And it's not something that you just happen to chance upon. It's an energy state that you can choose to get yourself into. And that's what EAM helps you to do. Excuse me. So, as I mentioned earlier, another really important part of your energy structure is all about your aura. Now, as I was saying a moment ago, your aura is actually the electromagnetic energy that they are able to measure up to 20 feet away from you. Now, we actually have different layers to our aura. Our physical body is the slowest vibrating part of our energy system. Now, I know this might be, hopefully, if you're here, it's not a new concept to you, but if it is something that's new to you, if you've not really heard of your aura or electromagnetic energies before, think about all of the things that, there are so many things in our world that we don't see with our physical eyes, but we know they are there and they influence our life experience. For example, long wave radio waves or microwaves, or the signals that are sending or broadcasting information from me to you right now, gamma rays or light waves, or even ultraviolet light waves coming in from the sun. Just because we don't see them with our physical eyes, it doesn't mean that they don't exist. Just because we don't see them with our physical eyes, it doesn't mean that they aren't influencing our life experience or the state of our energy all the time. And so exactly the same thing applies to you and your aura. Just because you don't see these layers of your aura with your physical eyes, it doesn't mean that they're not there and that they're not influencing your life experience all the time, because they absolutely are. So one of the things that we do with EAM, or that EAM helps you to do, is to rebalance whatever is going on in your aura. Now, the reason that I talk about your aura so frequently and why I get so excited about it is because your aura itself is actually an electromagnetic recording device. Everything that you've ever felt, everything you've ever thought, everything you've ever believed or experienced is held somewhere energetically in your aura. Now, the reason that excites me is because it means that there's no longer a mystery about where these patterns or thoughts or beliefs or emotions that feel like they're standing in your way are. They are all just in your aura. Now, one of the things that's really important to understand is that all of the amazing life experiences you've had are held somewhere in there, and some of the life experiences you might have had before that you would choose to perhaps not have, or perhaps make you feel low or depressed or negative or overwhelmed, are also held in your aura too. The secret, which isn't a secret at all, but what we do with EAM is actually help you to shift the resistant energy and the reversed energy that is held in these different layers of your aura and your energy field. And it's amazing and exciting because it really works really quickly. And I'll show you on the call tonight how we do that too. So everything you've ever felt and experienced is held in one of these layers of your aura. And what changes our perception of life and what we see and what we believe and what we experience is what's held in our aura and our energy field. So everything that we send out when we're thinking a thought or feeling an emotion is sent through the layers of our aura. Everything we sense coming back into our life experience is read and seen through these different layers of our aura. And therefore, it's influenced by the things that are also held in our energy. I'm going to draw this for you on the flip chart, just to kind of talk to you a little more about exactly what we're doing here with this. But your aura is amazing. And the way to shift and change your life is actually by working on the things that are already held in your aura, releasing the things that don't serve you, and choosing to change the information that's held in your aura to support you in moving forward in the different areas of your life. And that's exactly what EAM can help you do. So the only thing that is ever in our way and stopping us from changing our life and moving forward is our level of resistance. Those three flows of energy that we were talking about before. The only thing that stands in your way is the amount of energy that is in that reversed energy state and might be pulling and holding you back, or the amount of energy that's in this resistant state that might be holding on to you and holding you back. Imagine what your life would be like if you could turn all of that energy around that's been holding you back or pulling you down, that you know feels almost like you're dragging it with you. If you could refocus that amount of energy and allow it to start flowing in that direction towards everything that you want in your life experience, imagine how amazing it will be. So that's exactly what EAM helps you to do. It's all about redirecting that energy. We don't destroy it, because energy can't be destroyed, but we can transform it, and we can allow that energy to start working for us in our life experience and moving towards all of the things that we want. Now, in a moment, I'm going to show you how we can let that go using EAM. Now, before I teach you the 5 steps, we're going to come back away from the slides, and I'm just going to draw this for you on the flip chart. Did all of that make sense? Can you just give me a thumbs up or a, is that, congratulations. Does that all make sense to you so far? Brilliant. Yes? Some clarity? Yes, yes, yes. Wonderful. I can see a raised hand there from Inga. If you've got any questions, please do pop them in on the Q&A below. Now, I'm going to draw what I was talking about in the aura for you as well, because it's really helpful to get a visual of exactly what this looks like. You are not allowed to laugh at my flip chart picture, though, okay? If I draw you a picture, you're not allowed to laugh at my stick lady drawing, okay? So, hold on. You can laugh if you like. I don't mind. I don't mind. So, let me give this to you. You can laugh. So, hopefully you can all see this. I'll draw this. I'll draw this up here. So, what we were just talking about. I always draw stick ladies, just because everyone always talks about stick man. So, stick lady. So, okay. So these are the different layers of our aura that you just saw on the other drawing as well. So this is our physical level, etheric, emotional, mental. Now, there are actually 7 layers to our aura, but the ones that we interact with on a day-to-day basis are these 4 here. The physical, etheric, emotional, and mental, and they are what are known as your earthly energy bodies. Now, what I want you to think about is something that is inside of you, perhaps something in your life that you want to change. It might be that you're working towards a new job, or you would like a new relationship, or you want to create some change in your business, whatever it is. There is something out there in the future that you want to manifest, that you want to draw towards you, that you want to create, or you want to see different in your life. So that's what this is over here. So we'll call that your vision here. So inside your heart, there's this massive yearning, this thing that you want to create, this thing that you want to manifest. And between you here, where you are right now, and this vision over there, there is this gap. Now, in order for you to manifest this vision that's out there in your life, what we need to do is to close that gap, close that energy gap. And the way that we do that is by shifting and changing our energy, so that the things that you want start to be attracted more towards you. And also at the same time, your energy expands and starts growing towards the thing that you want to create in your future. Hope that makes sense so far. So there's this gap between where you are right now and the vision that you want to create. Now, the only thing that stands in the way of these two things coming together and meeting is what we've got going on in our energy, somewhere in between. So I want you to, yes, you can catch the recording afterwards, Annabella, if you need to scoot. Everything that you've ever experienced is held somewhere in your energy. So think for a moment of, and I'm sure there are probably more than the 7 dots that I've just drawn up here. Think of every time that says fear, you might be able to see. Think of every emotion of fear that you've ever had. Think of every time you felt overwhelmed. Think of every time you felt angry. Think of every time you felt frustrated. And every other emotion you can think of. This probably looks more like a dust cloud. Now, think about all of the different things that you've perhaps, all of the beliefs you've had in your past as well, or beliefs that you've currently got, or the patterns that you have, the habits. We have things like, I'm not good enough. Or I'm too busy. I don't have time, whatever it might be. And I'm sure that we could fill that with thousands of different thoughts and beliefs. And think about all of the self-sabotage patterns we have, those habitual ways of being, all of those things are all held somewhere here in our energy. So when you have some of this stuff going on and you think about this future vision that you have, if you've got these things going on in your energy, every time you think about this job that you want or this future that you want to create, what ends up happening is that on some level, this intention suddenly gets connected to all of these different things. So you think about the vision and you're like, oh, but I'm so scared of doing it. It feels too overwhelming for me to do. It's too frustrated. I'm too frustrated. I'm not good enough. I'm too busy. I don't have time. I don't have time is connected to overwhelm. I'm too busy is connected to feeling angry because you've got other people in your life that hold you back. I'm not good enough is connected to fear. It looks, I really wish I could get, and I'm going to get a better visual representation of this done. But can you see how the intention that we have is then suddenly connected to all of these things that we hold in our energy? That's what I'm trying to show. Now, what that means is every time you look at your future, every time you're looking at life outside of you, this is her line of sight coming from her eyes, everything in your life experience that you see, or we believe that we see, is then clouded by all of the things that we already hold in these different levels of our energy. And whilst we have them still there, all of the things that we think are happening will continue to reflect back to us experiences of not being good enough. It will continue to reflect back to us experiences of fear. It will continue to reflect back to us situations of overwhelm, because that's what's in our energy. Now, the wonderful thing is EAM helps you to let go of all of this, because all of these things that are held in there are just resistances and just reversals. Now, obviously, I've focused on some of the resistances and reversals that you might be holding, but in there are also the emotions of love, the possibility, the happiness, the freedom, the peace, the love, and the joy are all here. There are also those beliefs that you can do it, that you are amazing, that you are empowered, that you are enough. All of those things are also in here. And what we do with EAM is we release this resistance, and most importantly, we replace that resistance with a choice, a thought, a belief, a new pattern, a new emotion, a new experience, whatever it is that you choose, that you want to create. So that when you think about that thing in your life, there's no longer this tension and resistance standing in the way between the two of you. Instead, what you're doing is simultaneously expanding your energy and at the same time bringing the things that you want to manifest in your life closer to you. It's quite exciting. So has that made sense to you all? Was that a helpful representation of exactly what we're trying to do here? Yes? Can I have a little yes in the chat if you're still here? Hopefully that's making sense. Perfect. Now, this is the reason that I get so excited and I get quite passionate about all of this, is because you have the power and potential to shift and change anything that's held in your energy, because we put all of that stuff that's in our energy has been put in there at some point in this life, or if you believe in past lives, other lifetimes as well. And yes, it might seem overwhelming. Yes, you might think, oh my God, I've got all of these different things that I need to shift or change or do. But actually, as you start doing this, the more you start applying EAM in different areas of your life, you'll start to see that many of those things start to change more quickly. You don't have to discover what they all are. You don't have to go digging and uncover what they all are. The most important thing is that you start applying it in every single area of your life, and you'll start to see the systematic changes coming. So, all of that said, I would love to share with you the 5 steps themselves, which is what I want to share with you tonight, so that I'm going to talk you through the 5 steps, and I would like you to do this along with me. There is obviously a lot more to the 5 steps of EAM, because as you can see, the book is quite chunky. And even there's more than there's even in the book as well. But I want you just to experience it for yourself, so you can see how the 5 steps work, and obviously experience what a shift with EAM might feel like for you. So what I would love you to do is just to think about something that is a challenge in your life right now. Please try not to pick the biggest challenge you have, but maybe just pick a medium-sized challenge or something that's been upsetting you this week. So Vincent says, Lisa, a friend of mine, asks if there was a replay of the online streaming. Okay, so we were chatting to, oh, Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa. Lisa is my amazing partner in love. And for those of you, and Lisa's here, she's one of our amazing mentors and business partner, I suppose. It's the easiest way to explain. My wife, she's my work wife, is actually what she is. It distracted me now. Where was I? The 5 steps of EAM, that's what we were going to do. So I would like to invite you all to stand up wherever you are. Please don't stay sitting down, because I want you to have the full experience of this so that you can feel it whilst I'm here with you. I'm going to talk you through the steps quite slowly, just so that you can see what it's like. But once you learn the 5 steps, it's actually so quick, so much quicker for you to work through this all on your own as well. So I want you to think about something. Stand up for me, and I want you to stand up and close your eyes. And if you can stand with your feet hips width apart, okay? And make sure the back of your knees are loose. So if this was the back of my knees, make sure that it's not locked tight like this. You just want to make sure that your knees are slightly bent, and that you're able to, you feel a bit mobile with that. And again, make sure that the front of your hips are not locked tight, that it's kind of a loose stance. Then I would like you to close your eyes and just take a nice deep breath in. Okay, so first of all, what I'm going to just ask you to do is I just want you to say out loud, the first part of something we do with EAM is known as the sway. So the sway is a muscle testing method from kinesiology. It's known as an idiomotor response, which means that it's a subconscious physiological response that we can then see shown in our physiology. So with EAM, part of what we do is ask ourselves very simple, sometimes not so simple, yes or no answer questions. And what we're actually doing with that is tapping into our subconscious energy, our subconscious information. I haven't got time to explain all of the sciencey bits behind that today, but just trust me, it works, and there's science that sits behind it. So what we're doing is actually tapping into our subconscious, which means that we're able to ask questions of ourselves that we wouldn't normally have access to the answers. So for example, you might ask this way, do I believe I'm not good enough? Now you might consciously believe that, but actually the sway will then be able to tap into what's happening in those different layers of your aura and your energy. So first of all, let's just get you swaying. That's what I want to do first. So just think about the challenge that you have, whatever it was that is upsetting you or winding you up or frustrating you this week, and just close your eyes for me. And I want you to ask the sway a very simple question. Do I have resistance in my energy when I think about, and then name whatever your thing was. So do I have resistance in my energy when I think about, and then whatever that thing was. And then I want you to notice whether your body, make sure the back of your knees are loose and your hips are loose. Close your eyes so that you're not focused on a fixed point. And I just want you to notice if your body sways. I'll stand side on. You should have your eyes shut so you shouldn't see me, but I'll stand side on. Usually a sway forwards is a yes, and a sway backwards is a no, okay? So then just, you might say, do I feel angry when I think about whatever that thing is? Or do I feel frustrated when I think about whatever that thing is? Or name the emotion that you might know that you're experiencing. Or you can just keep it simple and say, do I feel resistance when I think about whatever that thing is? And you'll notice your body sways forwards or backwards, hopefully. So just so that I know that somebody out there is swaying. Did anyone experience that? Could you just give me a little yes in the chat box? And for those of you watching on the replay as well, has anyone noticed their body sway backwards or forward? Yes, cool. Thank you, Vincent. Brilliant. Okay, so step one is that we ask our body a question. Step two is that our body will respond and it will give us this yes or no. Step three, there are lots of different ways to do step three, but today what I'm going to show you is just to pay attention to what happens in your energy. So what I mean by that is when you're thinking about this thing or this situation, describe what happens to your energy. Do you notice that you have a heaviness in your heart? Perhaps you might notice that you have tension or a heaviness on your shoulders, or it might make you feel dragged down, or it might give you a knotty feeling in your stomach. It might make your legs feel heavy or feel like something's holding you back. So just describe what is happening in your energy. So for example, if I was thinking about, I can't even think of anything, but say I was thinking about a situation at work, a conversation that I needed to have with my boss, Lisa. She's not my boss. She is my boss. And it might give me this panicky feeling in my chest that felt like a big black hole. Okay, so just describe for yourself what that resistance, what that thing might feel like. All you're experiencing or all you're describing is what that resistant energy that we were talking about in our aura is doing to us and how we experience that every time we think about it. So it might be a heaviness, it might be a sickness, it might be a bubbles in your tummy, it might, whatever it is, it doesn't really matter. Okay, so say for example, I had this heaviness in my heart. When we then move on to step 4, which is what I'm just about to lead you through, I would say, I'm ready to release this and then you fill in the gap with whatever your thing is. I would say, this heaviness in my heart when I think about speaking to my boss. And then it would be, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I'm going to lead you through that slowly, okay? But I want you to fill in the blank with your own thing. And we're going to repeat that statement 3 times. So close your eyes for me, stand with your feet hips width apart. Hopefully you've identified just where this resistance might be held in your energy. Don't worry if it's not very clear or very specific. The step 4 statement will release it from wherever it is. So close your eyes and just repeat after me. I'm ready to release this resistance in my, and then name the part of your body or your energy where you're feeling it. When I think about, and then say whatever that situation was, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I'm ready to release this resistance in my, whatever it is. When I think about, name the situation, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and then I just want you to pay attention to where you might be feeling that in your energy again. Does it still feel the same? Does it feel lighter or smaller? Does it feel bigger or heavier? Has it still stayed exactly the same, or has it changed? So with step 4, you might need to repeat step 4 2 or 3 times before you really feel the shift. So we'll do that again together now, and I'll lead you through it again. So perhaps it's moved from a feeling in your heart, it might have moved down your arm. Then you'd say, I'm ready to release this resistance in my, and then name the part of your body wherever it is. So repeat these words after me. I'm ready to release this heaviness in my heart or resistance in my stomach, however you want to word it. When I think about, and then name your situation, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to release this resistance in my, and then name whichever part of your body or energy. When I think about, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and just check in again. You should hopefully be feeling some shift in your energy now. And I'd love to know in the comments box underneath just what happened for you with that, if it's feeling any different. Anyone? Hopefully you're all still there. Yeah. Here we go. Are we all still there? Okay. Change from heaviness to pain in my solar plexus. So Vincent, the next thing you would do is then work on, repeat step 4 again on wherever that pain is. So another go through the 4-step, another go through step 4 will then work on releasing that and shifting that energy and that pain. But I'm glad that you're feeling a shift. Anybody else notice a shift in their energy? And it's fine if you haven't as well. So please don't say that you have if you haven't. But if it's still exactly the same, then let me know as well. Because we can go through it again together. Change from heaviness to pain, says Vincent. Anybody else? Are we there? Okay. Would you like to repeat step 4 again? Would that be useful? Yes. Okay. So let's do this again. So yes, yes, yes. Okay. So close your eyes now. Allow yourself to just relax and repeat the words after me. It might be helpful for you to say it in your mother tongue as well. So if you're saying this in English, it might also be, if you speak another language more fluently and more frequently, it might be more powerful for you to say it in Danish or whatever, whatever. So because that's the language that you speak to, that will speak to your energy and speak to your heart more powerfully than trying to translate it in English. So you can I don't yet know how to say this. I'm going to learn before I come to Denmark. But you can say this in your own words as well. So I'll say this slowly for you, okay? I'm ready to release, and you can repeat it however you like, this resistance in and then name the part of your body. When I think about, and then say whatever the situation is, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I'm ready to release this resistance in or this pain in my stomach, or this heaviness in my heart, however you would describe it. When I think about, and then say whatever it is, I release this from my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and then I'd love to know in the chat how that's feeling now. Vincent, how's your pain in your solar plexus now? And anyone else who'd like to share? Have you started to feel a shift in your energy with it now? Move to the jaws. Brilliant. That means it's on its way out. It either comes out that way or the other way. So you can repeat that, Vincent. Do that again on releasing whatever it is that's in your jaw. Now, anyone else feeling a shift at all? Solveig? What's happening for the rest of you? You're all being really quiet. I'd love to know what's shifted for you. You can just type in the chat and let me know. Move to the jaws. Vincent's still working on that next one. Yes, moving from the back and the belly to the heart. Okay, brilliant. So this is really good. If you can feel it moving, what that means is obviously the steps are working and it's shifting the energy. It's just wherever it's been held, sometimes it's almost working its way through different channels, the meridians in your body. Very often you'll find that it's following a meridian to find its way out of your physical body so that it can shift and change and leave the physical level of your energy if you're feeling it internally. So all you would do for this is keep repeating step 4 until you feel like it's shifted, until you feel that tension in your jaws gone, or where it's gone from your back to your belly to your heart, that you feel like it's shifted. At the end of step 4, you would then always ask the sway, have I released this resistance in my energy? So you can ask the sway a simple question, have I released this resistance when I think about this situation at work? And hopefully it will give you a sway yes forward. So that's confirmation that you've actually released that resistance, as well as knowing that you're not feeling it anymore. So the reason that we do that is because we want to make sure that we've released all of the resistance or all of the reversed energy about that situation before we move on to step 5. Now, step 5 is where we create the magic. Step 5 is then where we manifest. It's where we take all of that energy that was held in that locked in, resistant, reversed energy state, and we shift it, we change it, and transform it into that stuff that we were talking about, manifesting in the future, allowing ourselves to bring our life that we want to be closer to us or start to experience more of it, and allow ourselves and our energy to expand. So lots of different healing modalities work on releasing, changing the way that we think, changing what's held in our energy, changing what we feel already. Not many do this step at the end, step 5. EAM is definitely one of them. And that's why it's called the energy alignment method, not just the energy release method. You have to do step 5 to create the shift and change. Just letting go of the resistance might feel better, but it doesn't actually change your life in the way that it would if you then redirect that energy to create something that you want to experience instead. So, thinking about that situation that you've been thinking of, I'm assuming that you've all released it with step 4, and if you haven't, don't worry, you can go back and work on this afterwards. But assuming that you have released whatever it was, now I want you to think about what would you choose to think, feel, or experience about that situation instead. So do you remember earlier I said that as well as releasing resistance, what we do with step 5 is change all of the things that are held in our aura, the beliefs, the patterns or experiences that are there. So thinking about this situation, what would you like to experience? Usually it comes down to a belief or an emotion. We might want to experience more love or more peace or more freedom. We might want to feel happier. We might want to have a better connection with somebody. We might want to manifest more money in our life. Whatever it is, we can choose to create that experience by creating it in our energy first. And we have the power to do that all of the time. So step 5 enables us to do exactly that. So the way that we do step 5, again, it's better if you close your eyes because it just allows you to be a bit more present. But if you stand, and you might need to open your eyes quickly just to see what I'm doing, but the best way to do step 5 is to stand with your hands in the air. Now I know this might feel a bit funny the first time that you're doing it, but believe me, it works. So I'm just going to do some amazing yoga moves here for you. What you want to do is stand with your hands up, fingers pointing up or fingers out to the sides like this if you want to. And what we're going to do is just repeat these words after me. So think about an emotion that you want to experience. Again, you might want to say this in your most fluent language for it to work more powerfully for you. But just close your eyes, make sure the back of your knees are relaxed. Take a nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and then I want you to repeat these words after me. I'm ready to allow more freedom, peace, love, and happiness. And you can fill that in with whatever you want. You don't have to say those words, but just as an example. Then I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. So we repeat that statement 3 times. I'm ready to allow, and then you would fill in the blank with whatever words you want. But I allow more peace, more freedom, more love, and happiness. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. I am ready to allow more freedom, more peace, more love, and happiness. I allow this into my energy in all forms, on all levels, at all points in time. Nice deep breath in and out. Okay, and what you might notice is that your arms start to get heavy as you're doing this. It almost feels like a weight's landed with you. So slowly, what I want you to do is just to bring your arms down by your side with your palms facing up. And what that just allows you to do is just, I'll explain some of that another time, but it allows you to bring more of the things that you're asking for down into your energy experience. So I'd love to know what you're feeling now. Sometimes people feel light, or they feel like their arms get heavy when they do that, or they sometimes feel goosebumps or tingles. So, and if you don't feel anything, that's also fine. that can happen sometimes the first few times that you're doing it. But I would love to know what you felt there from doing step 5. If you just want to pop in the chat, that would be really good to hear what your experiences with that were. So just whilst you are writing in the chat box, step 5 is really what EAM is all about. That's where the magic of the process really lies. Everything that we've done before is to help us to do step 5. The reason that we do all of that is because most of the time when people are trying to manifest, when they're trying to ask for things that they want, whether they're doing that through yoga or journaling or meditation or any other kind of practices, we're usually asking to manifest something from a place of not having, or we're asking to manifest something whilst we've still got that resistant push-pull or reversed energy in our energy field about that thing. So the reason that we don't manifest the things that we want isn't because the law of attraction or your ability to manifest doesn't work. It's because this energy is going in the wrong direction. It's in that reversed or resistant energy state. So that's why with EAM we do step 4 to release the resistance or release the reversal before we do the manifesting step. And I cannot begin to tell you how exciting it is and how much more quickly you start to see things manifesting, because you're not pushing against the things that are already held in your energy and your aura. So I'm hoping that explains a little bit more. Vincent says, feeling super grateful, heavy arms and goosebumps. I like that. I love that we've got goosebumps for that. So if anyone else wants to share on there as well what came up for you, then please feel free to share in the chat. But I'm hoping that you've all experienced some shift, whether it was in releasing the resistance and there might be a bit more to do, or whether it was with step 5 and what you felt and experienced coming in as well. So thank you for that, Vincent. And thank you for commenting in the chat and letting us know what was going on for you. I hope you've released the resistance from your jaw as well. But those are really the 5 steps. I'm saying it's that simple. It is that simple. I hope you can appreciate there is also a lot more about that as well. Solveig said it was beautiful to really feel ready to receive it and to love me. There was space inside me to welcome it. Love. Thank you. Oh, I've got goosebumps now. Thank you so much. I feel lighter and deliberated already. And that's just with one working through it. So thank you. And thank you for sharing as well, because it's always nice to know that it is working for people. And it's also fine if you didn't feel a shift with it as well, because sometimes there might be some other things that we need to do first to help you really start implementing it. But I'm really glad that you felt it for yourself. So that's kind of the ins and outs. Those are some of the basics of EAM. I'm hoping that you've felt the shift, and I know some of you who are on the call already met me at the Unfold Your Love conference in September. But if you are really interested in coming to spend 2 days with me, where we are going to spend a lot more time talking about some of the things that go behind this, some of the science that sits behind EAM, but more importantly, it's a 2-day event specifically designed to work with you. Now, as you know, this is the first time that I'm coming to actually run our own event in Denmark, which is so exciting. We run lots and lots and lots of events over here in the UK, and I'm really excited to have been asked to come and run this event for you over in Denmark. And it's going to be on Friday, I should say this, Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of February, even Friday the 1st and the 2nd, Friday the 1st and Saturday the 2nd of February. And it's going to be 2 magical days where I am going to introduce you to more of the concepts behind EAM, but throughout the days, we're actually going to be doing the work. This is not a workshop where you're just going to sit and listen to me talk for 2 days. We're actually going to be doing the work and putting this into practice. So we're going to be working through the 5 steps of EAM. I'm going to show you how you can use EAM to work on beliefs and patterns that might be standing in your way. I'm going to show you how you can specifically use it to work on releasing negative emotions like fear and frustration and overwhelm, and hopefully understand some of the things that stand in the way or keep you stuck. I'm also going to take you through, which I haven't shared with you actually tonight, see if I can find it really quickly in my book, the journey that we take people on, which I share and is in the book as well, which is called the Energy Evolution, which is all about the step-by-step way to apply EAM to changing every area of your life. So we look at your relationships, your physical health, your wealth, your lifestyle, your passion and purpose in the world, how you show up, how you can use it in your business or your job, because everything that we experience in our life is energy. And that's, for me, exactly one of the things I love most about EAM, is that you can use it to apply to all of these different things. It's not just a mindset technique. It's not just a meditative practice. It's not just, a spiritual process. It is actually something you can use in every single area of your life. And I cannot, for the life of me, there we go. So this is the journey. It doesn't really tell you that much more here either, but this is the journey that we're going to be looking at over the 2 days as well, is how you can start applying EAM in all of those different areas of your life. Particularly, we're going to take a look at relationships, because I know sometimes for some people, one of the biggest challenges we experience in our life is actually some of the other people that we have to interact with on a day-by-day basis. And I haven't got time to talk to you about all of that tonight, but it's exciting and amazing and powerful how much you can shift and change the interactions between you and others as well. So Inga says, I've done the 5 steps of EAM. I really had to pee and then throw up. I'm sorry. I'm really happy that that's happened for you, because it means that you've just shifted and let go of whatever it was that you're holding on to. It feels like my body wants to release so much crap. Is that normal? Yes. I'm not saying that if you come along and join us at the event that there's going to be a massive queue for the loo, but I'm really pleased that you've had that shift, because it means that you've released whatever it was that's coming up. I did warn you at the beginning of the call, this is quite powerful stuff. Not quite powerful, it's amazingly powerful stuff. So I would really, really love to see you there. For those of you who are here, I'm going to just pop this in the chat. I'm going to share with you the link to come and join us in the book, so you can find out all about the event itself. We're going to be holding it in, I don't know how to pronounce this, so please excuse my ignorance, Frenzenberg, which is, I know it's next to the Queen's Castle, that's what I remember. But for those of you that are going to join us from the webinar to Frendensberg, thank you, Vincent, sorry. For those of you that are going to come and join us, if you do come and join us in the next 3 days, we're giving you a discount to come and join us off the ticket for the event. And there's a code which Lisa is going to very kindly stick in the chat. On the order form, there you go, webinar 100, and that's going to give you £100 off of the listed price for the event, for you to come and spend 2 days with us. It includes your lunch, it includes your dinner. We're going to love you and nourish you and look after you. But also, I'm bringing with me some of our team of amazing EAM mentors. So it's not just going to be workshop based, we're actually going to be there doing the work with you. So over the 2 days, you will have one of our mentoring team there with you, guiding you on whatever is coming up, whatever's standing in your way, so that we can really help you to create the shifts on whatever your challenges really are. So that's the unique code for the £100 off the event. So and you can split the payments, I believe, over 3 months, if that makes it any easier for you to come and join us as well. So it's £400 is the listed price, but with your webinar code, it would be £300. I don't know what that is in krona, but we would absolutely love to see you there. I know some of you are already coming along already. And if you think this might have been useful tonight, I would really love if you're happy to share this training class. We're going to put it up on a replay for 48 hours as well. So the link that you use to register, you'll also be able to share and register. Your friends will be able to then catch the replay to watch this as well if you want to introduce it. Whether they want to come to the next event or not, that's absolutely fine. We're ready to start coming to share EAM with you beautiful folk over in Denmark, and I'd love to start sharing it with more people. So if you think this has been useful, I'd really appreciate you sharing it with your friends as well this evening. What I might do is actually pop this up in some of the groups that we've got on Facebook, but please do come and join us. We'd absolutely love to see you there. £300 for a transformational 2-day event is, quite frankly, a bargain. And it's because we are on a mission to start changing more and more lives with EAM. And actually, I've been told that a huge part of the work that we're going to be doing is to be connecting with so many more of you over in Denmark and Finland and Norway as well, to help us start taking EAM out in the world. Because apparently, as I know myself as well, you are just such an amazing community of people. Everyone that I've met so far has just got such a big, beautiful, open heart, and you're definitely our kind of people. So I'm really looking forward to coming back for the 1st and 2nd of February. So we'd really love to see you there. Like I said, if you join in the next 3 days, you can use that webinar discount code to get yourself booked, which will discount your event ticket. And you can split it over the next 3 months, but it means that you get to be there with us for the first ever Energy Emergence event in Denmark, which will be really exciting. And like I said, I'm bringing our team with us to be there to support you along the way. So click the link. You can go and read everything you need to know about the event. If you've got any questions at all, just send us back an email, and either one of the team will be able to give you a call or reply on email to answer anything. But if you've got anything else you need to know, I'd absolutely love to hear from you. And I really look forward to seeing you there. Hope you get yourselves booked in. But thank you for joining me on the class tonight. I would love to share this, says Vincent. Please, please do. Please go and share this. I will email the replay out to you as soon as possible, and then you can share far and wide, and people can come in and tune into the class that we've done tonight. So thank you to those of you that are watching live. A massive thank you to those of you who are also going to be watching on the replay later. And I really look forward to seeing as many of you as possible with us for the first Energy Emergence event in Denmark on the 1st and 2nd of February. So thank you for your time. Huge love from me to you. And I really look forward to connecting with you all some more. So for now, enjoy, and I look forward to seeing you. Take care. Bye. Bye-bye.